Here's every reason why Love Island Season 8 is trash. Tier list. Mind you, every season of Love Island is trash. Yeah, but this season is OD extra. Let's get right into it. We're starting out with a banger. We're starting out with Kenzie. Kenzie has a lot of energy, especially when it comes to attention and being the center of attention. You know, she's your typical white American blonde princess coming from what I presume is a smaller town in Georgia. She is, like most people on the show, definitely not used to being in competition with other very attractive people. Kenzie's whole MO has been, we have to focus on Kenzie all the time. You know, Kenzie be wildin'. Kenzie be wildin' for real. So we are going to put her into A tier. Turn the TV off. Okay, next up is showing no conversations of substance. Like, every conversation has to be about sex. It's either we talking about butt stuff, or we talking about your first kiss, or we talking about when's the last time you had sex. It's like everything is all super sexual. Now, I will give them credit. Once Casa started, then we finally got some actual conversations. The agenda was definitely being known. We want y'all on to the new. We want the audience to mess with your new couples way more than your OG couples, because the way that they were actually giving some sort of screen time to just regular, casual getting to know you, like, this is why I actually would develop any sort of connection or pursue this couple with you further, sort of talks or conversations, only really started within the last few episodes. With that being said, we will move this into mildly frustrating. Okay, next up we have the BS GOAT himself, Sincere. Sincere has a special brand of diabolicalness that is to the point where he can't even recognize when he is being mischievous, when he's undercutting conversations, when he is not telling the full truth. He feels like he is actually always doing what's best for not only himself, but whoever is in front of him at that time. He gets so lost in the moment. He's super present. He's super present, like, to a fault. He will whisper the sweet nothings, and he'll follow through on it a lot, but he shouldn't be. Half the time, he really shouldn't be. He just isn't completely aware or honest enough with himself to where he is able to be the sort of good guy that he perceives himself to be. And a lot of the time, that can be extremely frustrating when you are seeing these shorties being made to feel like they are the only one on the whole planet that this dude is rocking with and wants to rock with, and then to see him run over and then immediately say the complete opposite, or just not enough of details that matter when speaking about the sorts of situations that he be speaking on in that house. So for that, we are moving him into turn the TV off. Okay, next up, we're talking about the challenges, because, like, yo, what the what are these orgy fests? What are these Diddy parties we have going on live TV? This is crazy. You know what's even what really gets me about this is that people are sitting there and they are going through a whole process of creating these, and then sitting through the footage and cutting it up and delivering it to the world. These challenges are crazy. It's like they were saying they got Sam from Euphoria and Dan from Nickelodeon to come together as the weirdo tag team and put these things together, because there's no way there's all this slime and having to reach for glizzies, mouth only, no hands. The picture is crazy. And it's nothing but throwing that thing back, and we gotta lock lips with every single person. I mean, they do that all day, any day, all day, every day anyways. But the extremes that it goes to when you start adding in, like, all the extra, like, goo and gunk, and, like, brother, in the show. Okay, next up, we're gonna do being penalized for actually doing Love Island. We're gonna do 3 in 1. We're gonna talk about what Soul alluded to on her way out the door, was like, y'all are so closed off. Everyone is super closed off. If you watch the current season of UK Love Island and then immediately watch this season of US Love Island, you can completely feel the shift. in a bunch of different ways. But at a base level, Love Island is supposed to be about finding your best connection. The vast difference between how open and more grounded the Islanders are on the UK Love Island versus how things are on the US version is night and day. From the jump in US, they were all like, we go together for real, without even giving it like another thought, a second chance, or even without allowing themselves to explore any further beyond that connection, that initial connection they had. And again, there's a bunch of different reasons for that, and we're about to get into all three of them right now. But first off, we're going to talk about being penalized for actually doing Love Island, which is definitely what happened to Gabe, which is definitely what happened to Soul. The whole idea of Gabe being eliminated for exploring the connections that were put in front of him. They were like, the biggest thing that tripped me out was when they got rid of the boy Gabe and then told him, we don't trust that you are actually here to find someone, or that you are actually satisfied within any of the connections that you literally have been put in by forces outside of himself. But then to get up the very next day and ask Jen exactly, like, be like,
so Jen, you're moving on, right? Like, what type of dude do you need to come in right now?
What's your order? You want tone legs? You want like a nice back? You like get tattooed? Like, come on, bro. But all that being said, being penalized for doing Love Island, it's a little frustrating, not gonna cap. And in tandem with that is, like I had also previously talked about, is the couples not exploring at all, which I want to actually put a tier down into, let's just have a dialogue, because I don't think it's required to explore anymore if you don't want to. I think you should, because that's the whole point. You're coming on a show that you know people are going to come in anyways. So why are you so locked in? You know, like, it's not a crime to be feeling somebody heavy. But I think on a show like this, where you already know what's going down, it's crazy to at least, like, in a way, lock off your person from being able to, like, explore more fully, and then, like, you know, get upset with them for, you know, wanting to see, wanting to see, you know? I feel like it happened with Melanie. It happened with Anaya. It really happened with all the girls. Like, all the girls wouldn't really let, like even Kinsey, while she was exploring, and then got mad at Corbin for exploring while she was exploring. But even those two things, the being penalized for doing Love Island and then, you know, not doing Love Island enough, I think both of those had the issue of, like, where are the bombshells? This season gave us none of that. I think they had, to be real, the first night we had Kata and Gabe, basically. They were the like the night one bombshells, the notorious night one bombshells. And again, it wasn't night one, but because they started at night, right? Basically they're OG cast. Like, might as well be. And they came in, you had one round, okay, cool, like everyone was still kind of getting to know each other. Then I think we had Corbin, and then they brought in Caleb, Soul, and Jen. But these are all bombshells they're bringing in every, like, once a week. You get like one round of bombshells a week. On UK, it's like every 2 episodes. Y'all not even able to get comfy, cozy in your couples before there's like something else to explore in the first place. So a lot of these couples get locked in from the jump, and then there's like no room or reason to explore anyways. There's no other options. So it's like, well, yeah, I'm super locked into my couple, and then there's really, now it feels like extra, now it's extra tense and extra where I don't feel as comfortable exploring anything. Which, again, this is Love Island. You know what this is. You have to go ahead and just put yourself out there. In hindsight, looking at when Bryce was like, yo, I got to talk to Kata. I got to see what she's on, for real. Forget all that other stuff about bro code, about, like, you know, all that. Like, you're like, I got to do this for myself. This is Love Island. This is what we're here for. Respect to him for doing that. Even though they made him look silly. He probably made himself look silly. But all things considered, at least he actually tried it, and at least he actually gave himself the opportunity to see what else was out there. All that being said, we do not have enough bombshells. They did not have enough bombshells this season, and obviously the plan was to just hold off until Casa, where we were going to bring in 80 new bombshells. You know, by the time they did bring in everybody, it was just a little too late anyways. They should have just had people coming in They should have just had people coming in. They should have had more recouplings. But honestly, the show shouldn't even be going on for much longer, if at all. So we're going to put these two together. Bombshells and Couples Not Exploring / clickiness. Some extra clickiness with the groups that discourages exploring in the first place, because you're not trying to step on, you hurt one of the girls, you hurt all of them this season. I'm sure it's in a similar way like that in past seasons, but it is like fierce as we saw from Casa this season. Okay, real quick, a quick word on Alana, who was one of the Casa girls who got kicked off for using the N-word online or whatever. I don't know. I ain't really looking into it that much because it's raps, bro. It's raps anyways. It don't matter. It don't even matter. But I will say that I'm just going to go ahead and throw that into just Love Island teams. Because at this point, what is a season without somebody getting kicked off for being a bigot? When you MAGA adjacent, they're going to have to look into Kenzie next. They did, didn't they? They did. They trying to write her... They trying to rewrite her revisionist history. Alana, trash. One of the reasons why this season is trash, D tier. And now here's one that's been increasingly frustrating over the last few seasons, for real. But it's very obvious this season about the pure lack of dates. Like no dates, no points of actual genuine connection outside of the villa from the producers. There's literally no creativity. It's literally just, let's just have a sex challenge and see who can be the most softcore corn. Yeah, and that's how they're gonna figure out how they vibe with each other. So there's just no dates this season. Even last season, it was Ace setting up all of the dates for pretty much everyone. They just had to do it all themselves. But even then, there were still a couple of solid Love Island type dates thrown in there here and there. No one this season has gotten a text, "We're going on a date," or anything like that. It's all nothing actually romantic or special going on at all this season. It's just, we're gonna wake up, make some breakfast, and
Yep, I'm the one. I know you like my avocado toast. I know you like my heart-shaped pancake that I also shared with the other shorty across from you, but I'm the one though. I'm the one.
Yeah, man, no date sucks, bro. No date sucks. Might as well just go ahead and end the show, because what are we talking about? Lust Island. Okay, a few more left. I'm nervous to do this one because I know they're gonna come after me. But Anaya, let's have a dialogue. Anaya Hive, I'm talking to you right now because don't eat me up. I support my people. I love my people, but I also, when things not making sense, I gotta call it out. And Anaya, she don't be making sense. A lot of the time. She don't be making sense. The one thing I will say is that she needs to find herself. She is young. She's gorgeous. She needs to still find who she wants to be. I'm not saying this all with a grain of salt. We only see what they're showing us. But from what I have seen, from what I have heard, from what we know about her background, her upbringing, all that stuff, it just seems like there's a lot of finding herself she needs to do. And Casey is her and Casey are not compatible in my opinion. But bro, you gotta be kidding me, bro. I never plugged in the microphone. Bro, I never turned on the microphone. I'm sitting up here wondering why does it sound like this? Why is it? What? Hopefully I sound clear. We're just gonna have to deal with it. I'm gonna just have to deal with it because I'm not re-recording the whole thing. But what I was talking about Anaya. We were talking about Anaya. Anaya needs a lot of growth, finding herself, and she definitely needs to do that outside of Casey. This is not a dialogue on the Casey Anaya situation currently. I am recording this pre-Casa fallout, right after they've come back to the villa. So we'll see what happens from there. We'll see what happens with that boy Carl and all that stuff. But outside of any man's, she needs to still figure out more of who she is, in my opinion. All right, coming up to the end now, we got voting. Voting don't really mean nothing this season. It's like, not only have they only had a couple of votes anyways, but then America votes, the producers vote. And the couples just end up going right back to whatever they were doing anyways. Or I think that happens most seasons. I'd say I don't think I feel like the being forced into a couple vote, especially so because it's different when the public votes to like dump an islander and that actually is like something that shakes things up where you can't come back from. But whenever it's like one of those who should be together votes, it's like a lot of the time I feel like the psychology of it is I'm not going to do what you want me to do, sort of like here's probably what my heart is really telling me anyways, or now the fact that we are forcibly having to split up, or now it kind of just speeds up the process of figuring things out for the Islanders or whatever. But essentially like the votes don't really mean nothing. Voting, let's have a dialogue. Just Love Island, let's have a dialogue. We could talk about it a little bit because like what's even the point? It's even the point for real. They just want you to download the app. They just want to see the numbers. And last but not least, we have Corbin GPT and his very uploading, downloading type responses. I watched a video talking about the homoeroticism of this season and how the dudes have so much more personality with the dudes, and you can see them like leave their body when they're talking to the shorties. And Corbin just from the jump has just felt like not real. Like you can see his program updating in real time when he is, as the season has progressed, and he's brought a little bit more personality out in general. But it's all jokes. It's all jokes. Corbin GPT, just Love Island. Just Love Island things. So yeah, that is all the reasons why Love Island season 8 is trash. Let me know if I forgot anything in the comments down below. And yeah, peace.